Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Jafrican once again. Thank you for joining me for another one. Today I want to talk to you about this YouTuber that I came across some years ago, and he grew to be something magnificent and still growing. It is just amazing. You might know him as Wode Maya, right? I came across this YouTuber maybe 3 years ago or more, right? And when he just started out in the continent of Africa. Before then, he was in China, and he'll tell you his story of how he was just trying to get a feel for or how Chinese people see Africans, right? And then he moved back to the continent of Africa and started showcasing the things we never get to see about Africa on TV. You know, we get to see the big stomach child with the fly pitching on the forehead or the mouth, starving, or people doing safari and stuff like that, but we never get to see what really goes on in the continent of Africa, what we're capable of doing as African people, right? And the magnificent work that we're doing. So he took it upon himself to showcase all of that, and he's been going around Africa showcasing the talents, more so businesses and stuff like that that are being done on the continent. And he made it a point of duty to only showcase developments by Africans or things Africans are doing, right? And yes, right now he is moving through the Caribbean. He's doing his tour through the Caribbean. I don't know how many countries he'll get to visit, but for now I think he's in Jamaica at the moment, and he's having a wonderful time. I'm sure, knowing how the system is, he might get a bit of he might have some challenges, but for the most part I see where he's having a good time and he's welcome there and learning a lot about the culture, about the Ghanaian culture in Jamaica, the Nigerian culture in Jamaica, and many other African cultures that are still present in Jamaica, because we did come from Africa and we maintain a lot of those traditions, and some of us don't even realize that those traditions are still with us. We don't recognize where it came from, and so we don't realize, we don't know that it is African, right? I would always say to people will say we speak Patois and Patois is broken English, and I'll be like, no, Patois is not broken English. Because I started learning French, and I was able to point out some French words in Patois, right? So I'm like, it can't be broken English if it has some French. And then I can point out some Spanish words, so it can't be broken English if it has French and Spanish. But what I didn't know, there was a large percentage of the language that is from African languages, right? And so I realized that it is a mixture of many languages, but majority of it being African. And even the structure of the language is African and not English, because if you realize in English we say things very differently. When it comes to Patois, the structure of the sentence, right, differs or changes. But yeah, one of the main things that I wanted to talk about was how this guy looks like our own national hero, the Honorable Marcus Garvey. And not only that, you'd wonder if Marcus Garvey was reincarnated in Wode Maya. Of course, that's not his real name, that's his channel name. But you'd wonder if Marcus Garvey, after dying in Jamaica, right, after his death, reincarnated on the African continent. If you know Marcus Garvey, he started a movement called Pan-Africanism. If you know Marcus Garvey, his life's work was centered around black empowerment and unifying the African continent and bridging the gap between those in the diaspora and those living in the continent of Africa. And so he didn't actually get to set foot on the African continent. I feel like, I'm not very superstitious, but you wonder sometimes, he looks like the man. And the very fact that he's pretty much doing the same work that Marcus Garvey started. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, is this spiritual? Is this more than what meets the eye? Is this Marcus Garvey reincarnation? Or is just the African spirit finding some way to finish the work that she had started? Right? And it just pops up in individuals, and it doesn't matter how much it's, how much fight it comes up against, it will reincarnate until the job is done. I don't know, but it is very interesting to look at. This guy, he's going around, and now he's in the Caribbean, and he's connecting, he's making the bridge, connecting the African people in the diaspora to the African people on the continent, letting them know the lives that we're living over here, and letting us know the lives that they're living over there. And yes, there are many groups in Africa. You have groups, and are described as countries, but really and truly, we're one people, right? And you will find that in our language and in our culture. Right, but it dawned on me. I'm like, is this Marcus Garvey reincarnated, or perhaps not? Maybe, like I said, he doesn't need to be reincarnated, because the spirit of the African lives on, and until we recognize who we are, until we are restored, then the spirit will keep popping up in different people until the work is done. Right, until the work is done, we're restored and we're whole again. I don't know, but yeah, there's a very, very interesting story. One of the things that was surprising to me is that the amount of my colleagues and Jamaicans that are tuned into his channel, and I'm like, wow, I love that. I'm sure other Caribbean nationals are tuned into his channel as well, but because I'm not there and I'm Jamaican, of course, I can only speak from that perspective. But much love to you, Wode Maya. Keep doing what you're doing. If you get to see this video, just know that it's heartfelt. We love what you do. Keep doing it. Yes, that's all I have for you today, the Jafrican family. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button, share, like, and comment. It helps this channel to grow when you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, one love.